Hi everyone, we're Team Autosapiens and we're here to talk about our project Carnegie Net or simply CarNet. You must be wondering what's CarNet all about. So let's walk you through our project. Our project is a distributed P2P system of autonomous cars. The application that we chose to demo the working of our system is an Uber-like application where customers can call an autonomous car and the P2P system makes a decision on which car can go and pick up the customer. Here's the system architecture. We decided to adopt and apply some concepts that we learned in class. The system architecture is a hierarchical P2P network of autonomous cars with Skype-like architecture. Each autonomous car connects to an aggregator or supernode which form a ring-like topology. The supernodes come to a consensus on which car should pick up the customer. The decision is made by aggregating the computed distance of every car from the customer who requested the ride. Let's look at the DS features that we used and implemented for this project. Firstly, let's talk about bootstrapping. We implemented a custom load balancer for both HTTP and TCP requests. When users visit the load balancer on the browser, they will be redirected to the web UI hosted on one of the supernodes. Similarly, when a car has to join the network, it approaches the load balancer, which redirects the TCP request to a supernode. In this way, we do not have any configuration details in a centralized bootstrapping server. Any car node or supernode can join and leave at any time. We have consensus too. The consensus takes place at the aggregator or the supernodes in a ring-like topology. A token is passed around the supernode ring to decide which car picks up the customer. Once a decision has been made, the system notifies the customer about this and also orders the car to perform its action of driving the customer to its destination. We have some failure handling as well. The supernodes are arranged in the form of a ring, so they constantly send heartbeat messages among themselves. Once a supernode stops receiving these heartbeat messages, the node failure is detected by its adjacent node. This adjacent node starts the failure handling process by sending a repair message in the form of a token. There are heartbeat messages between car nodes and supernodes to detect failure. Let's walk you through the communication protocol. The communication protocol is essential for the functioning of our system. This can be divided into four major classes: communication between the user and the distributed system, bootstrapping the system, communication among supernodes, and communication between car nodes and the supernodes. Here's a diagram showing the bootstrapping in the communication protocol. As you can see, the supernode registers itself with the load balancer. The load balancer will redirect it to the last supernode which was added in the network. The new node will try to establish a connection with the lastly added supernode, which redirects it to the peer. Thus, a new connection is established in the ring. Here's a general overview of the communication protocol. A customer or user visits the load balancer at port 8080 and will be redirected to a random supernode. The user can then enter his location and request a ride. Now, a token is passed between the supernode link starting from supernode 1. Each supernode can update the token if need be. Once the token goes through the ring for one complete round, it identifies which car is closest to the customer. It then sends a TCP message to the best car node and will then inform the best car node to pick up the customer. Let's look at the skills and our work that we put into the project. Our skills challenge was to learn Go and implement the distributed systems project in Go. We have learned how to utilize network packages and implement a communication protocol between peers. We also learned how error handling takes place in Go. For the purpose of this project, we implemented DS algorithms on our own. There were some initial challenges too. This was a new language for us, and we spent some time figuring out how to set up the Go environment. It took some time to get used to the language semantics. Our team consists of 3 members in Pittsburgh and 1 member in Silicon Valley. To overcome the distance and communication barriers, we used some collaborative tools. Each team member brought unique skills to the table. If there was anything that we could do differently, then we would make incremental changes to the design and not make a design change such that it affects the entire implemented code. However, we're happy with the scoping of our project. Finally, the takeaways that we have from this project are as follows. We are happy to have chosen an ambitious project and to have modeled it to other system designs that we were introduced in class. We acquired a new language skill in the form of Go and successfully implemented DS algorithms to get the system up and running. We do feel like good systems engineers now. I hope you enjoyed our project and thank you so much for listening.